Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Ted Turner. Success leaves clues, kids. I just named 5 of the greatest names in business in the last 150 years. And they all have one thing in common. They're ball busters. They're hard as nails. Where does that leave you? I still work 50, 60 hours a week. And I haven't had to work in 35 years. You're not willing to do anything. You're not willing to sacrifice anything to be a high-performance person.
I don't want to be like that.
No, most people don't.
I want to be liked.
Yeah, well, see, you want to fit in. I'm the only speaker that you're ever going to hear that really, with all his heart, doesn't give a shit. If I leave here you liking me, I did something wrong.
Anyone can sail in smooth waters. Anyone can dance when the music is playing.
So is it just a run in the rain? You tell me.
Remind yourself of what that door opening is going to feel like.
So I have dreams. Compulsions to be legendary, evolving from the imaginary, and it's near and it's real. I can see. In due time we realize that real life is defined by our own eyes. And I have blueprints to the skyline, it's just reality is built methodically. And overnight success you would never guess takes a long time. You have to cut lifelines and navigate landmines, but it's your move on your cue, just decide. So I sat there, thought about it. How long am I gonna go on about it? Put my shoes on, I said so long and went outside. Right through the field I used to run by, where the rows of sunflowers waist high, but it was different than what I envisioned. There weren't any road signs or guidelines or letters that said it's all just fine. It was just me adjusting as I made my way to the sunrise. Then I paused. On the ground below me was a little door. I knocked slowly, was pretty scared, maybe ill-prepared, but we get one life only. So I opened the hatch, looked down, and it's pitch black, no sound. And if you don't choose any road will do. I've been riding logistical merry-go-rounds and my eyes are wide. Restless soul with scores to settle from years ago. I know that there's more cause I told me so. I'm going down the rabbit hole and there's not a way out. The chips fall, I'm all in. Now my prospects are in lockstep and each step is a shakedown. I got a coat of armor, sword of steel, call to arms cause the threat's real. And see, crowns are made on battlefields, so your majesty, no, I will never kneel. Time to face fear, right front center. Watch doubts fall like it's November. Got a treasure map in my backpack, it says life's golden. What a pleasure, been round and round and free falling now. Cause there's ghost schools and there's goblins out. Are you leaving us? They call me treasonous. Think that you're dangerous, you must be delirious. Just then the guns fire and the trumpets start and the ground trembles from the steady march. And it looks bad cause their deck's stacked, but my king beats a queen of hearts. They're trying to win in spades, so I set fires with the kind of flames that forge empires. And like a hurricane, but I'm a tad insane. Cat 5, Cheshire. Right around we go, the next episode under the second story. So look out below, collect haters' tears that makes a steady flow. And the greatest fear is I told you so. I know it though, there's no impossible. You can watch your past, you can watch it grow. Be more powerful than you will ever know. I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Be the kind of trader who sees the big picture. The world is changing around you. Global threats push gold, the safe haven asset, to higher prices each and every day. Now's your chance to start trading gold. Just go to capex.com and register to get up to a $5,000 bonus on your first deposit. Simply use GOLD5000 as a promo code and you're good to go. Capex.com proudly welcomes you to the next level trading experience. Register now and start taking full advantage of the new gold rush. Terms and conditions apply. Exposure to gold obtained via contracts for difference, which are leveraged products and incur a high level of risk. Capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services, Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider.
Had it all figured out and I lost it. They say that's the cost, but it just feels like a lot. Stop, are you going or not? I miss certainty, miss the 9 to 5s, knowing exactly where I need to be and why I'm not built for this. Progress moves in slow motion, they're out making money and getting promotions, saying all the right things, pulling all the right levers, while I sit here, write my future self love letters. Who's winning? Is this the end or beginning? 'Cause I'm starting to feel like reality's slipping, and bank accounts, they aren't very forgiving, and life on edge feels like falling, not living. If effort brings victory, what am I missing? Nothing good comes easy. When we have to, we push through, not knowing completely. You're here because you're made for this next level, taking these places that most people won't. Start embracing it. Who cares what they do? They're not you. You'll go through more now than you think you're supposed to, but that shows you can cope with the highs and the lows, because you rose to be more. Could've run away, could've avoided the thorns, could've been comfortable. Blood, sweat, and tears, they're expendable. No more pretending, man, build something memorable. Don't drink from their cup or by stories they tell, because when all their time's up, you'll have dug your own well. You didn't use lifelines, you're topped off for a lifetime, so drop all those one-liners. We'll get them next time. No, this time is your time, and whatever you decide will end up being real life. No stop signs, just storylines. This whole thing is a misunderstanding, a miscalculation. Jumped and missed the landing. I'm mystified, I can waste so much time. These ovations are strictly imagination, not standing. So much for planning, guess fate left without me. Those failure statistics, yeah, they'll be about me. Was overly optimistic, forgot the logistics. Guess we all learn sometime, don't we? Good is not good enough. No, how long do I stay down before I let go? I buried my pride and took it inside, but never enough. It takes a toll, it gets old getting told you've got miles of road left to go. You're alone with this future unknown. Just go home. Just go home, it's safe there. Yeah, I'll find some embrace there. Look, it's time to admit defeat. A humble retreat, check the box and complete to my core. Intrinsically, it's not for me, I can't do this. I knew this is how it would be. No fame, no fortune, no names on marquees, just running in place every day on repeat. This is the world I wanna see, where everything's taken with no guarantees. No. Come on, man, pick your head off. Go back inside, half a life's learning to get up. How can I make you see that you have everything you need, and what you want to be is never out of reach? Fate deceives sometimes, but destiny's calling, so can't let the phone ring. You know there's no all-knowing. Go level up, no letdowns. Let the world in, push fear out. It's self-belief, it starts right now. When hell freezes, you lay down. Until then, it's your town, it's your story, it's your crown. Live in the clouds, feet on the ground. They stand still, you run around. Go mesmerize, or they socialize. There's dollar signs to be maximized. If you live it right, regret nothing. Loud applause, the sweetest sound, and this moment won't happen again, and never becomes forever unless you choose to begin. So see greatness in each step, and power in progress. Your future, yeah, that's limitless, it's infinite. Don't forget you want this.
The champ is here! 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 The champ. Good afternoon. I nearly said good morning. Good afternoon and welcome to Boom Markets Talk Show. This is your host Rian Opson, and we're doing actually today's show of no deal. A deal or no deal. We are not sure which way the market will respond today, or will there ever be a deal that will get passed maybe for the people of the United States to get some money with their 1002 checks, and the governments or the different states in the United States that also want some money. That is now Nancy Pelosi's story. But it's just an absolute mess. The story is an absolute mess. First of all, okay, let me start here. I need to apologize for last week's Friday because I couldn't do the show. I just had a bit of a flu, but nowadays we don't understand a flu. Everything is COVID. But I had a bit of a flu, so I needed to cancel the show. So I need to actually apologize for that. But on the other side of today, still a bit flu-ish, but I'm okay. I'm much better than Friday. Excuse me. But
for today, the market is an absolute mess. It's not behaving in a way how I know it's supposed to behave. Now, there's not a deal been struck as in yet for the people of the United States. Now, last week, Trump was saying no, he's not going to negotiate anywhere further with the Democrats because they are crazy, because the Democrats want a 2.2 trillion stimulus package. Then Trump was tweeting and said he will create a stimulus that is even bigger. So we all thought it will be bigger than the 2.2 trillion. And then it came out it's actually less. It's 1.8 trillion. Now, we first need to understand what is this whole story about before we can get to how the hell we need to trade with this thing. Now, he actually, first the deal was at 1.5 trillion, and then he add an additional 300 billion, so it gets to 1.8 trillion. So he is sent now his finance minister, as in according to in South Africa's terms, to negotiate with the Democrats to actually find agreement on basically to get the stimulus through, so that the people in the United States who are unemployed can get some money, even the 1,200 checks, and the governments that are under stress, which Nancy Pelosi is stressing on, can get also relief. But the Democrats is holding firm that they want the 2.2 trillion. Now, obviously, with elections around the corner on the 3rd of November, people are stressing that they don't have money. People are getting evacuated and all of those things. So obviously the Democrats will stand their ground at 2.2 trillion. And Donald Trump is offering 1.8 trillion. The other problem is, you must now remember, the House of Congress get actually ruled by the Democrats. The Senate, which is the people with the last say, the Senate is controlled by the Republicans. And the Republicans don't even want to hear the word a trillion. They want it actually below than a trillion. Their offer was 300 billion, and it actually creeped up a bit to 500 billion. Now, the Senate made it very clear, and they said that, listen here, this bill will not get passed before the 3rd of November. That is what the Senate is saying. So it is a long story, this. I can tell you now. This thing will not get solved today. It will not get solved tomorrow, because maybe Crazy Nancy and Donald Trump can get to agreement to say, okay, they agree maybe on 1.9 trillion. Let's say, for argument's sake, on 1.9 trillion. Then it needs to get passed by the Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans. And the Republicans are saying they're not going to add more debt on the United States. They need to cut the debt. Now, honestly speaking, you can guarantee yourself there will be no deal today. I doubt there will be tomorrow. As the Republicans were saying, there will be no deal until there will be no deal for now until the 3rd of November. That is what the Senate was saying. Now, that is a bit scary. Maybe Trump can twist their minds and everything, because obviously he needs to win. People are complaining that they're out of work, they need unemployment money and all of those things. So maybe they can change their mind, maybe. But the Senate has made it very clear they're not going to add on to debt. Now, they were talking on Friday. Now, first of all, Trump was ignoring the Democrats last week, and then he revisited everything and proposed a new bill on 1.8 trillion. And there the hell went loose between the Republicans, Donald Trump, and also with the Democrats. So who the hell is going to pass this bill? People are desperate in the United States, and these guys wants to talk about politics. I fully understand the Senate part, where they say, listen, they're not going to add debt. The Democrats wants to give this money to the people, a large chunk of money, obviously, to score some votes. So the Democrats will blame the Republicans will blame the Democrats for not passing the bill. And this is one hell of a problem, and sadly enough, the people are actually suffering in this regard. Now, personally, I don't believe in stimulus packages. I don't know why this nonsense actually exists, but that is now somehow the norm of today. Now, it goes like this. The 2.2 trillion includes This is now from the Democrats. The 2.2 trillion includes 436 billion that will go to local governments. And then the people will get the 1,002 checks, and obviously they will get, the jobless will get a $400 per month for joblessness or for the unemployment. All right. Then you have this 1.8 trillion, which only 250, this is now the proposal of Donald Trump, 250 will go to the governments, and then he keeps the 400 per month for the unemployed people, and also the 1,002 that needs to go to households. Now, that is where the debate is sitting about. So the Democrats want more for failed states that are currently run by the Democrats, and Donald Trump says no, he can give them less. But obviously, Nancy Pelosi, or Crazy Nancy as they say, is sitting with a pack of cards in her hand, because they know that Donald Trump is becoming desperate, because obviously it is elections, it's around the corner. Now, it is a whole politics game, and the people are literally, it's like a donkey and a carrot. That is the whole thing. This one is doing this one is doing that, and they just putting this carrot in front of the donkey the whole entire time. That the donkey is definitely the people of the United States. Because honestly speaking, if the Democrats really cared about the people, they will just pass this bill so that the people can get the money. As simple as that. But they want more for the failed states, which is run by Democrats, somehow to give them some stimulus, which is absolutely wrong. The president is happy to sign off this deal at 1.8 trillion, but the Crazy Nancy wants more out of the stimulus package, just for more corrupt details that will go on with the states or the governments. But on the other side, you have Jerome Powell that was literally stressing to say the government must actually come to the party to stimulate the economy. That is what the Federal Reserve want, so that they can get their inflation expectations up. But if this deal is stuck, then the Federal Reserve will definitely fail with the average inflation philosophy. So Jerome Powell made it clear that the government needs to get to a solution so that they can stimulate the economy. Now, how the hell do we trade with this mess? That is the whole thing. Because people are suffering, and the politicians are literally making a mock out of this whole story. It is really getting insane. But one thing that is crazy for me is how the hell the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones is going up, and the dollar is also going up at the same time. That is, for me, a very, very weird behavior. Maybe it's going to change later on, but as it stands now, it is a bit crazy, and it is a total bluff. I will just take a short break, and then I'll be back with you with some more information.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Yeah. Period.
I came from the bottom, but I'm coming to the top. Lacing testing your will. How much faith do you got? Your foot's on the line. Will you ever take a shot and score the game? Winning points when it's zeros to clock. I've came to find that life's a test. There's no cheating either. Just work and stress. If no money's provided, you're eating less. Bills on the table and pain in your chest. You promise you'll pay for the things that you can't. You want the whole world, but it's burning in your hands. You ask if it help, no one hears you in the stands. A crowd full of friends you can never call fam. They love you then, but they don't love you now. Your whole life seems to be crashing down. You never feel safe when there's no one around. So if you feel like giving up, you gotta stand your ground. No one else can ever try to tell you otherwise. rise. So stop trying to be just like the other guys. Fake the haters who live in to see you feeling like. And fuck the coaches who judge it cause of the shape of size. If you ever wanna make it, you gotta show effort and show dedication and crave it like basically nothing else matters but getting that paper and that education. Just take it from me. I ain't doing this shit. The rap with a mouth full of gold teeth. That'll show the whole world that my chain ain't so. Just let the world know I'm an OG. Know I do this for my fam, for my city, and for me. Cause honestly, I throw a middle finger up to those who don't. So if you want it, get it, don't ever give up. You got it, you wanna make it, then chase it. No one can stop you. Stop you, they're gonna hate you, but let them hate you. That's fine. Cause if they stand in your way, then you gotta leave them behind. But if you want it, get it, don't ever give up. You got it, you wanna make it, then chase it. No one can stop you, they're gonna hate you, but let them hate you. That's fine. Cause if they stand in your way, then you gotta leave them behind. People will always try to bring you down, but that's a part of life. Imaginary action when they see your name up in the lights. Ignore the gossip and nonsense you're hearing on the daily. Cause if it gets to your head, then you'll only end up failing. Just be the best that you can. Only those who love you will be there in the end. Stick with those in your defense and leave alone your phony friends. Stay on track, don't fall behind. Either chase your goals or fall in line. Bullshitting's only a waste of your time, so go with your gut and stay on your grind. I wanna wake up the world. Someone's gotta hear my message. This is food for your thought. Take it as easy ingestion. I won't leave you in question, just a lasting impression. I'm trying to speak the truth, so take heed to my lessons. This is honestly the most honest things I've said in a while. In life you'll always be judged, eternal circles of trials. Just keep your head up and never ever fall to denial. You're finally on the clock, meaning your time is now. If you want it, get it, don't ever give up. You got it, you wanna make it, then chase it. No one can stop you, they're gonna hate you, but let them hate you. That's fine. Cause if they stand in your way, then you gotta leave them behind. But if you want it, get it, don't ever give up. You got it, you wanna make it, then chase it. No one can stop you, they're gonna hate you, but let them hate you. That's fine. Cause if they stand in your way, then you gotta leave them behind.
Getting your business funded is a lengthy process with the banks, and it can take weeks before getting an answer. ProfitFX works with the best in the finance industry to bring you an unrivaled business funding solution for South African businesses. Our funding partners have funded millions in the last year in support of growing your business and our economy. Get in touch with your talk show host to request more information. A trade history of 3 years or more and an annual turnover of 1 million rand or more is required. Terms and conditions apply.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Good afternoon and welcome to the Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host Rian Hobson, and we're still doing the no deal story. Look, it is an absolute mess. In one instance, it's playing actually in the hands of Joe Biden, and obviously Trump looks like a total idiot in this regard, because obviously Nancy Pelosi wants to give a 2.2 trillion to the people of the United States. But if you read the clauses behind this whole thing, then it's going rather to the states, not to the people. I mean, I would understand if you actually ask for 2.2 trillion and give more to the people, but nothing changed. It's just that more money is going to the failed states and not to the people. Why not making the checks 1.5 US dollars to the people if you want more? But you want more and to give it to the states. And that's why Trump is literally kicking the bucket against this whole story. And I fully understand why he's doing it, because why must he pay for failed states? It makes sense. But the whole thing is playing now in Joe Biden's favor. The other problem is, I was reading an article on Bloomberg also last Friday, that people are literally now hoarding their money because they are afraid, especially the rich, are afraid now of a Joe Biden victory, because obviously he's going to raise taxes. I mean, who the hell likes to pay taxes? So the problem is now that the rich is holding back and literally waiting for Joe Biden to, if he wins, and they will keep the money and wait until things come right, maybe whenever, I don't know, and then maybe come back into the market. That is actually dangerous because the people literally don't trust Joe Biden. And financial advisors is literally guiding the rich, which is always the case, guiding the rich to say, listen, hold your money back, because if Joe Biden wins, you guys will get taxed more. Always in this instance, if taxes increase in a country, the rich normally never get affected by this. It's normally the middle class and the poor that get affected by this, because, the rich can hire 10,000 tax consultants to figure out what to do. And you, they're just a normal worker, pay your bond, pay your mortgage, your car, and all of those things. You get affected by this nonsense. But Joe Biden actually wants to increase the taxes in the United States, which is totally ridiculous. I thought that nonsense only happened in South Africa, but it's definitely happening now also in the United States. But the problem is now, how the hell do we trade with this whole entire mess? Now, in normal circumstances, let's say that the Democrats did not allow now Donald Trump to get the stimulus package. So what happens? Normally in this instance, you will get the dollar stronger, and then your Dow Jones and NASDAQ, it basically goes down. Your commodities also go down. For example, your oil, your gold, and all of those things, they go down as well. And it normally steer up, I would say, a lack of confidence in the market, because there's no additional money for the economy. So which means that your stocks are going down and your commodities going down, and normally your dollar is strong. That happens in normal circumstances. In today, this is now crazy. You have the NASDAQ that is pushing up. You have actually your commodities is going down, and obviously your dollar that is actually going stronger, which I don't understand how the hell your NASDAQ and your Dow Jones is going up. Maybe they give a signal to the market that the market just don't care. Maybe. But there was also some other news that came through from China, that China is actually trimming their reserves. I think, I'm not saying it is a fact, but I think that's why the NASDAQ or the stock markets across the world are going up, because of the Chinese that trim their FX reserves and to open up markets. And I think that's why, and make the market maybe more liquid. That's why the stock markets are going up, because the Chinese stocks went up, even the NASDAQ and Dow Jones, even European stocks went up when the Chinese announced this morning. It actually didn't come as a surprise from China why they're doing that, because obviously they need to stimulate the economy, and obviously the Chinese currency, which is the Chinese yuan, went up quite strongly in the last few months, and they need actually to control that. The Chinese are always manipulating their currency. So that is exactly what they did. But they also released a statement to say the market must not confuse it with manipulating the currency, because they want to open up the market for more investors into China. I don't know who the hell will invest in China, but anyway, there's a lot of people who are still interested in China. But the Chinese actually cut off their FX reserves. So that could be the story of the Dow and the NASDAQ and the DAX and all of that going up because of that news. Because after that news was announced, the stock markets went up, but which was crazy, because in normal circumstances, with the trim of FX reserves in China, in normal circumstances, you will have the commodities that goes up. Your currencies like the Australia, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar normally goes up, and obviously the US dollar will be down. If in normal circumstances, taking out now this Nancy Pelosi story and Donald Trump story, in normal circumstances, you will have the dollar down, commodities up, and the stock market up when the Chinese are cutting their FX reserves. But today, I think that news is actually running into a clash. That is what I think, because I expected, when I got that news this morning, that the Chinese were actually cutting their reserves, I thought the Australian dollar would be higher up, because they are the biggest trading partner with China. Even the rand actually went down this morning and still continue going down. due to that news. But obviously there could be other news that affect the rand. Obviously we're sitting with the whole crazy story in South Africa with this land expropriation story, which is an extremely dangerous story, which I will cover anytime soon. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on there. But that could affect the rand. But normal circumstances, if that FX reserves get trimmed by China, the rand goes up, all your commodity currencies go up, and your commodities go up, stock markets go up, dollar goes down. Because once they dump their FX reserves, trim the FX reserves, it means that they actually dumping the US dollar. But that was not the case. Today, I'm just not sure if the United States market, when they are opening, will the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones go up? For me, it is totally a fluke what is going on there. I think there will be a surprise in the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. Look, I'm still up for the NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ still have a lot of legs to go. Honestly, that is what I think. But there will be somehow a short-term correction, maybe of about 5, less than 5, maybe 2% or so on the Dow or something. But that is now if this whole nonsense of Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi or the Democrats still continues. It is really a confused time as a trader. I personally, what I did now for the last few months now is just buying the US dollar, because we all could expect that nonsense between the Democrats and the Republicans will happen. That is what we know. They want Trump out, and they're going to keep that 2.2 trillion. So that is basically a given. That is basically a given that it was bound to happen, that we can expect. The thing that actually makes it strange is why the market is surprised by this. But it looks to me the market is not surprised by this. That's why the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones go up. I think the market is literally was thinking, it was about to happen. That's why the Dow and the NASDAQ actually still went up. Even with Friday, even when Trump was saying, listen, yeah, he's stopping everything, the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones went up. I think the market was expecting this mess to occur. I personally think so. Because everything is happy-go-lucky in the NASDAQ. Unless something bad is happening, it will maybe tank the Dow and the NASDAQ. Maybe. But it will be a very short correction. It will maybe a 1% or something like that. Not a heavy one, very short one. But I personally think the market did expect this nonsense to happen. It's just this FX of China that is a bit confusing. But I think the market did expect it. And I do expect that the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones will go further up because of the market's anticipation that it was bound to happen. I mean, these guys been fighting for the last 3 years. So obviously we can expect that there will be a fight. I personally think NASDAQ, Dow Jones will go up. The dollar will also go up, which is strange, but that is now because of the people that are just buying bonds just for safety's sake. So some are buying bonds, some are buying stocks. But I definitely think that, which is very strange, but I think that the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones go up. Maybe the dollar will trade flat, but not extensively go up. That is what I think that was going to happen for today. But I still have some more news for you regarding Jerome Powell. He needs to, I'm sure he's actually tearing his hair off. But I will definitely cover some news of Jerome Powell and what he had to say about this whole entire mess. I will just take a short break, and then I'll be back with you with some more information.
The champ is here! 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 The champ.
They see 30 seconds. They didn't see 10,000 hours.
Anyone can sail in smooth waters. Anyone can dance when the music is playing.
So is it just a run in the rain? You tell me.
Remind yourself of what that door opening is going to feel like.
So I have dreams. Compulsions to be legendary, evolving from the imaginary, and it's near and it's real, I can see. In due time we realize that real life is defined by our own eyes. And I have blueprints to the skyline, it's just reality is built methodically, and overnight success you would never guess takes a long time. You have to cut lifelines and navigate landmines, but it's your move on your cue, just decide. So I sat there, thought about it. How long am I gonna go on about it? Put my shoes on, I said so long, and went outside. Right through the field I used to run by, where the rows of sunflowers waist high, but it was different than what I envisioned. There weren't any road signs or guidelines or letters that said it's all just fine. It was just me adjusting as I made my way to the sunrise. Then I paused. On the ground below me was a little door. I knocked slowly, was pretty scared, maybe ill-prepared, but we get one life only. So I opened the hatch, looked down, and it's pitch black, no sound. And if you don't choose any road will do. I've been riding logistical merry-go-rounds and my eyes are wide. Restless soul with scores to settle from years ago. I know that there's more cause I told me so. I'm going down the rabbit hole and there's not a way out. The chips fall, I'm all in. Now my prospects are in lockstep and each step is a shakedown. I got a coat of armor, sword of steel, call to arms cause the threat's real. And see, crowns are made on battlefields, so your majesty, no, I will never kneel. Time to face fear, right front, center, watch doubts fall like it's November. Got a treasure map in my backpack, it says life's golden, what a pleasure. Been round and round and free falling now, cause there's ghost schools and there's goblins out. Are you leaving us? They call me treasonous, think that you're dangerous, you must be delirious. Just in the guns fire and the trumpets start and the ground trembles from the steady march. And it looks bad cause their deck's stacked, but my king beats a queen of hearts. They're trying to win in spades, so I set fires with the kind of flames that forge empires. And like a hurricane, but I'm a tad insane. Cat 5, Cheshire, right around we go. The next episode under the second story, so look out below. Collect haters' tears that makes a steady flow. And the greatest fears, I told you so. I know it though, there's no impossible. You can watch it pass, you can watch it grow. Be more powerful than you will ever know. I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Be the kind of trader who sees the big picture. The world is changing around you. Global threats push gold, the safe haven asset, to higher prices each and every day. Now's your chance to start trading gold. Just go to capex.com and register to get up to a $5,000 bonus on your first deposit. Simply use GOLD5000 as a promo code and you're good to go. Capex.com proudly welcomes you to the next level trading experience. Register now and start taking full advantage of the new gold rush. Terms and conditions apply. Exposure to gold obtained via contracts for difference, which are leveraged products and incur a high level of risk. Capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider. Be the kind of trader who sees the big picture. The world is changing around you. Global threats push gold, the safe haven asset, to higher prices each and every day. Now's your chance to start trading gold. Just go to capex.com and register to get up to a $5,000 bonus on your first deposit. Simply use GOLD5000 as a promo code and you're good to go. Capex.com proudly welcomes you to the next level trading experience. Register now and start taking full advantage of the new gold rush. Terms and conditions apply. Exposure to gold obtained via contracts for difference, which are leveraged products and incur a high level of risk. Capex.com is operated by JME Financial Services Pty Ltd, an authorized financial services provider.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host Rian Hobson, and we're still doing the no deal or deal story of the United States, and it's really a story like, will the people ever get this money before the 3rd of November, and could this actually cost the elections for Donald Trump? Now, as things stands, it actually plays in line with Joe Biden if there is no deal, but you need to understand also the Republican Party, they don't want to add debt. But then you have to look, but you already have so much debt, you can just add on more. I mean, what would be the difference? 2 trillion, what would be the difference? But it is a scary figure for the United States to pile up so much debt. But at the end, I personally think that the Donald Trump administration is actually right with this 1.8 trillion and not with the 2.2 trillion. But will it get passed by the Senate? That I don't know. But Jerome Powell, on the other hand, he wants actually, obviously, he's been stressing that story that he wants the supply side to work and also the demand side of the United States. Now, you need to understand that to get to his 2% average inflation. So we need to understand what does it mean. So the U.S. government will actually give money to small businesses. So that is where it comes with the supply side. So the government needs to help with the supply side and also with the demand side. So the Federal Reserve can help a bit on the demand side, but they can't do it alone. So the supply side comes from the United States government, where they borrow money to small businesses, to the airlines and all of those things to hold these companies up, basically, so that they can survive this whole pandemic or this whole lockdown. So that is where the government can help with the supply side, so that it doesn't cripple. And then also on the demand side, where they give actually 1.2 US dollars to the household, so that the spending can still improve. Now, the Federal Reserve have limited power. They can only cut interest rates and give money to the banks, and the banks needs to make the decision to borrow the money to the people or to investors. But they need to be of credit worthy. So the money doesn't come for free to the people. So the bank obviously has his criteria before he will pass the money on to the investors or to people that just want to borrow money. So there's limited power that the Reserve Bank or the Federal Reserve Bank has when it comes to stimulate the economy. On the other side, the government has a lot of arms what he can use, and that's why Jerome Powell is stressing the fact that the Federal Reserve must do the government spending for the U.S. economy to survive. Now, Jerome Powell also stressed in the minutes last week that if there is no stimulus package, that will actually derail the U.S. economy. For example, the growth will be slower. There might be a increase in the unemployment rate. And obviously, the spending will decrease and inflation will decrease, and then we will sit with a problem with deflation. You must understand, Jerome Powell also did say that the paychecks that the federal government was issuing out to the people helped tremendously with the inflation. So we didn't see a heavy zero or negative number of inflation during the lockdown period because of the extra stimulus was given. We saw actually negative inflation numbers in the recession of 2009 because that was only being driven, the stimulus was only being driven by the Federal Reserve and its banks. But on this side, you have the government that comes to the party and also the Federal Reserve. And that's why inflation did not go into its negative numbers. So that's why Jerome Powell is stressing on the fact that the Federal Reserve needs, the federal government needs to do something. Now, I did say the last time that they literally gave this over to the government. And I think it was last week or the week before, where I said that I doubt that the government will actually pass this whole story because it needs to get through Congress and then it needs to get to the Senate. And there was already a big debate on how much money. I mean, Nancy Pelosi was literally starting with 3 trillion. Donald Trump was starting at 1.5 trillion, and the Republicans was putting down a 300 billion stimulus package. So we could already could forecast from there that we would get some problems. Now, the Federal Reserve wants to get to their inflation mandate, and today it doesn't look possible. One thing for sure that I can say, we will definitely not see any breakthrough on the stimulus package today. It will be a surprise, but you have to be very careful when it comes to trading. Today, although I say maybe the market is prepared for this whole mess, but you need to be careful because obviously you will get some Twitters or some tweets actually coming out, who's fooling who and all of those things that can derail the market. So the best possible option for you is to trade with low volumes. If you are trading, well, you must open up a trade. But the best thing is rather to trade with low volumes because there will be some mood swings when the market is opening in the United States or when the New York Stock Exchange is opening later today. So please be very, very careful. On the other side, just to give you a quick rundown of how you need to trade, is that if we do see a no deal story, which I do expect today, then normally what happens, you will get your NASDAQ down, your Dow Jones will be down, your commodities will be down. That includes now oil, gold, silver, all of the commodities will go down, and then you will get your dollar stronger. Also, you will have the Australian dollar weaker, New Zealand dollar weaker, South African rand weaker, Canadian dollar also weakened. If maybe mysteriously there is a deal, then normally you will get your stocks that will be up. That is now the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, and your commodities will also be up. You will have your dollar down, and then you will have your commodity currencies, which is Australian, New Zealand, Canadian dollar, that will trade higher. Now, I do expect that it can, the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones, let's say, for example, there's mysteriously Nancy Pelosi is agreeing to all these things. Then you will get actually a stronger NASDAQ and the Dow Jones due to the FX story also of China. So we might see actually a rollover, like you will see the market in the green today, you will see the market in the green tomorrow, and also the following day, because obviously the FX news of China and also the stimulus package of the United States will definitely give some serious firepower to the stock market across global equities across the world. Even will push the commodity currencies and commodities also up. There will be some heavy pain for the United States dollar because you have the story of the Chinese that are dumping the United States dollar, and also on top of that, the United States is spending actually more on the people of the United States. So if there's a deal or a deal come mysteriously through today, then please don't forget that you will get your NASDAQ and all the equities across the world up. You will have your commodities also up. You will have your commodity currencies up, but you will have an extremely weak dollar. And I do think that for the next 3 days, we will see the same result over and over again, where you'll see your stock markets rallying. But as things stands, it's a bit confusing. Because you have the dollar up, obviously, because of the safe haven status, but you have your stock markets also up. Yeah, that is just maybe what I predict, that the stock markets will maybe go up because the market expected it, the war between the Democrats and the Republicans. But I can't say for certain that when the New York Stock Exchange are opening, that the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ will continue its upward trend, because obviously there can be a tweet that will be sent out or something that may go out, and that can actually push the stock markets and commodities down, because you see the side effects on oil and gold, it actually going down because of the stalemate of the stimulus package. So what I can tell now, my best thing is maybe the dollar. That is the best thing. But I personally don't think there will be a deal today nor tomorrow. I honestly doubt it. I think the war will continue for this whole entire week, and it will just get ugly and ugly and ugly as the days goes on. So please be very careful with trading. I will definitely be back with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock with some more information regarding the market. So that is it from my side. Have a lovely Monday. Bye-bye.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!